Hello, I'm Game Retainer, and in this video I'll be going over a handful of beginner tips for surviving Horde Night. If there are any veteran players out there who are watching this video, please feel free to drop some more tips down below. I know a lot of the new players really appreciate it, and so do I. Now let's jump straight in. One of the most important things to keep in mind when trying to get through your first Horde Night is inventory management. Have your toolbar ready. When the zombie onslaught starts, you want to be able to attack, heal, run away, and all that good stuff. Also, you will need to repair your items, especially any pipe weapons you have, because they will break super fast. So have things like pipes ready, and then further into your gameplay, invest in plenty of repair kits because you will burn through them. Another good thing to have is a handful of building cubes or building blocks, because you can use them to, well, build, which can just give a little extra layer between you and any enemies, and you can also use them to parkour your way up and out of danger. It's also worth hanging on to a few spikes, because spikes can be good at slowing down zombies and injuring them. Unfortunately, if you kill a zombie using spikes, you will not gain any XP, but if it means you live to fight another day, then it might not be a bad idea to throw a few of them down if things start getting a little dicey. It doesn't matter whether you've decided to move into an existing POI or create your own base, you should always have more than one way in and out, and that applies to you and not the zombies. I can give you a quick example with this little easy to build base here. There is one way in for the zombies, but there is another way that I can go to escape if things get too dicey. By having an extra way to escape, you will not get pinned in. One of the worst things you can do during Horde Night is get overrun by zombies and have nowhere to go. So always have an additional way to escape. In 7 Days to Die, there are 5 main biomes. You have the Pine Forest biome, the Burnt Forest, the Desert, the Snow biome, and the Wasteland. Out of all the biomes, the Wasteland is the most inhospitable, so if you are new to the game, you might want to avoid visiting this area until you're a little bit more experienced. The biome you're in directly impacts the difficulty of the game. So for newer players, you should absolutely stick to the Pine Forest biome when it comes to dealing with the first few hordes. If you open up your player menu, you'll see your game stage. Your game stage is tied to the overall difficulty of the game. When you load in, you will start at game stage 1. The higher the number, the more difficult the game stage. Since the Pine Forest biome is the easiest biome to live in, you don't get a boost to your game stage. However, if you cross over to, let's say, the Burnt Forest biome as an example, then you can see the game stage jumps up to 13. The order of difficulty in biomes goes Forest, Burnt Forest, Desert and Snow biome, and then the Wasteland. Up next is a very beginner tip, that is, you can use hatches to slow down zombies. Zombies will always go for the weakest point of any structure to get to you, and hatches are seen as a weak part of a structure. However, there are limitations. If I were to replace these hatches with steel hatches, then the zombies will instead attack the walls. By having a hatch placed down, or a couple of hatches, you're able to control the flow of zombies. You can fix up the hatches, and providing you keep a little bit of distance to stop them from hitting you, you can fight them off pretty safely. And this one is just fantastic for those who are pretty new to the game and are looking for a little way to give themselves a bonus. Hatches are great for more than just getting through Horde Night. You can also use them to block off entrances and slow down zombies when clearing out POIs. Just a quick tip for those who are new, when it comes to placing hatches, keep an eye on the arrow, because the arrow can help guide you as to which way the doors are going to open. If the arrow is pointing towards you, then the hatch will open away. The next tip I have is very useful for those who have a base that isn't particularly tall. In the current version of the game, zombies cannot climb, which is great. However, for some reason, they can stack. So if you are trying to defend your base here, and you've created a nice path of zombies that are heading towards you, for whatever reason, they can and will stand on top of each other. If that happens, there's nothing stopping them from getting on top of your base. To help prevent this from happening, you can build a little lip over your base, and what this will do is will just give the zombies a little bonk on the head should they try and stack on top of each other. I'm just going to go over a couple of quick what not to do tips. Firstly, very new players might think that it's a good idea to hide inside a trader's compound. It is not. As soon as the traders close their shop, you will automatically get kicked out.
Trader Rick is now closed, so get off my lawn.
After you've been kicked out, the doors are locked. And if you decide to do this on your first Horde night, you will end up, well, dead. Trying to hide underground during a Horde night, or even defend from underground, is not a good idea. Zombies, for whatever reason, are very good at digging and they will make their way down to you. Another bad location to hunker down at would be any POI that is built to pop out the water, and that is because zombies will make their way to here and they will break these posts, and once they've broken enough of them, your whole base and you will go for a swim, and that's not very fun. One very handy thing to bear in mind when getting through your first Horde is always have a fallback location. Should you get overrun by zombies, it's a good idea to have somewhere to run to. Even if it just gives you a little bit of respite, it might save your life. This next tip is definitely worth keeping in mind when building a base, and it involves ladders. We'll use lovely Arlene here to test. If I go up ladders, she, and every other zombie in the game, can follow me up ladders, and that's not good. However, if you remove the bottom 2 rungs of any ladder, then you can still get up. But any zombie, like Arlene here, can't get you. Unfortunately, if there is no alternative path for the zombie to get to you, they will start smashing the structure around you, so keep that in mind. But this can be quite useful for just having a little extra way in your base without zombies getting up. Just one last quick tip here. This will not affect you in the slightest in the beginning, but as you can see here, do not drive during Horde night. It will not end well for you. There are a special breed of vultures that can and will relentlessly hunt you down, meaning that you just cannot get away. So be smart, don't hop in your car during Horde night once you've unlocked the ability to craft it, which I have made a video about, so little plug there for you. There we go. So hopefully you found this video interesting. As I said in the beginning, if there are any veteran players and you want to add more tips, then please drop them below. If you are wondering what's going on behind me, I decided to spawn in 25 Trader X and 25 Trader Gens to see what would happen, and this is the abomination I'm left with.